Hello, welcome to the Vertical Drop Viking. I'm Yosef. Today, we're going to be reacting to some Reddit takes. Let's see here. My wish list for Cedar Point. Displaced sports guy. As we wrap up another season in Sandusky, I find myself with bittersweet emotions. The wonderful ride and the rush of nostalgia are still ever present at the park. But I don't think it's a secret that it is riding on reputation while sacrificing guest experience. I still love Cedar Point, but having now visited so many more parks in my life, I can see how Cedar Point is outdated and needs a revamp. In my opinion, in order of priority, this is what I think should be their master plan moving forward. 1. Expansion of the boardwalk aesthetic. Cedar Point is built on traditional fun and balls to the wall thrills, but immersion is key for modern parks. It's one reason why Frontier Town is so popular. People want to feel like they're getting away from real life when they come to an amusement park. And what better way to do that than to change their surroundings? I don't know about this. I feel like there's theme parks and then there's Cedar Point. The theme of Cedar Point is that all the baddest roller coasters in the world are there. I don't know if it needs more theming. I understand, like, I think the rides, the individual rides could use better theming, but I don't think Cedar Point needs lands. I mean, like more development of the lands concept. Let's see back. Cedar Point, it feels at times like a concrete hellhole. I can't agree, especially on the hot days. Well, we could get shade. I'll give you that. We could get shade. Replace the bare, faded, and dirty concrete with designs like those on the boardwalk. Repaint the Coliseum from the gross dark orange and match the blue and white beach vibe. Revamp the Midway shop fronts to appear more traditional and vintage. If you want to keep the Kitty Kingdom, rebrand it. Give it more of an aesthetically upscale appearance than just a concrete lot with rides plopped on it. I'll give you that. Like the Kitty Kingdom, especially with like its proximity to the boardwalk, like maybe a little more consistency in the aesthetic. I'll give you that. Cedar Point could use more consistency in their aesthetics. I don't think it needs to be a full theme park like a Busch Gardens or even like a Great America. Number 2, put more money in the hotel. I know they just finished a renovation in 2015, but I've read too many horror stories on this sub that are unacceptable. Fix the damn roof. Replace anything that has a drop ceiling. Ooh, I haven't been in the hotel. I always, if I stay at the campground. Drop ceilings, yeah, that's a bad look. Clean the mold. Ooh, the carpet choice was a loser. Get rid of it. Raise wages, hire better staff, get better restaurant deals than TGI Freaking Fridays. Take some pride in what should be a luxurious resort at a premier vacation destination. Yeah, I if all that's going on in the hotel, I have to agree with that. I'm a campground guy when I'm lucky enough to stay at more than one day. So I didn't know that the hotel had issues like that, but sounds like that they could use some cleaning up there. Number 3, more greenery. Related to the concrete hellhole feeling, more and taller plants would help to simultaneously beautify, immersify, cut down on the heat island the park is. I mean, I don't think any like back to the more consistency in the aesthetics. I don't think anyone's gonna be upset if there was more plants at any park. Like green is good. People like trees. People like bushes and especially flowers. Number 4, figure out your water ride strategy. If you want to make the water park exclusive, get rid of Thunder Canyon and put in more effort. Well, I think they already did get rid of Thunder Canyon. You have to double check me on that, but it was closed all 3 times I visited this year. Otherwise, expand. With whatever they decide to replace Snake River Falls, I hope it's a bigger, more expansive log flume. The splash on the walking bridge is too fun of an experience to ignore. Give us more than Thunder Canyon to cool off on. I gotta go in the exact opposite direction here. Cedar Point does not need water park elements at all. The water park elements that it has, trash is a strong word, but who goes to Cedar Point Shores? Like, I have to drive away from two better water parks in mid Michigan to get to Cedar Point Shores, and I don't even know how many better water parks I'm passing, how many regional water parks there are towards Wayne County, Macomb County, or along the 23 corridor in Michigan that would whip the crap out of Cedar Point Shores. Cedar Point Shores does not have a notable slide besides a cluster of 6 drop slides. And I love drop slides, but I'm not going to drive to Ohio and look at Millennium Force, Magnum, Valraven, Steel Vengeance, all these rides that I love riding, Gatekeeper. I'm not going to look at them and be like, no, drop slides. I can do drop slides for a few hours. Like, no, I'll wear sunscreen and go ride roller coasters. Call me crazy. What's it got here? Number 5, extend Frontier Town to the Millennium Force Railway Station. He says, I know that Millennium doesn't match the aesthetic, nor would I ever dream of a rebrand. But in line with expanding the boardwalk, the more immersion the better. Red Garter Saloon and the vintage-style Panda Express and Cinnabons are already outside the Frontier Trail, and the other side of Frontier Town ends at the train tracks. Reskin the games of skill in the VIP lounge and replace the benches, and put up a sign. I agree with all of that. The line that where Frontier Town starts and ends, the delineation between Frontier Town and the Millennium Midway is non-existent. Like, you can stand at the Millennium Force gateway and look over and see a Western themed Chinese restaurant and general store, but then Frontier Town starts past the covered bridge after that. That doesn't make any sense. I agree completely with this. 6, tear down Rougarou. Oh, it's bound to happen. I'm a Rougarou fan. I'm a Rougarou defender, but I am not that strong of a defender. Oh shit, that wasn't good. Tear down Rougarou. It's an unpopular ride with an old track that has handed out concussions since it first opened in 1996. I don't get who's riding this ride with such a weak neck that you're going left and right on Rougarou. The laterals on it are, anyways. Merely switching from stand-up to sit-down doesn't change that fact. Replace it with something Western themed to match the expanded Frontier Town. Alright, so if you're going to expand Frontier Town past that train track, then it's a clear choice to, yeah. Wait, not that train track. If you're going to make Frontier Town come out to the Millennium Midway, then yeah, I think it'd be a clear choice to have the replacement be Western themed. But Rougarou and Iron Dragon are at the very central plot of the park. Like, this is the heart of the park. And Frontier Town is the northwest corner of the park. I don't, maybe a different land if you're going to do these lands. If you're going to do these themed sections of the park and really lean into the themed sections of the park, we're going to need more than Boardwalk, Frontier Town, rest of it. Number 7, find something to do with Millennium Island. I know that the noise of the roller coaster makes it a less than desirable area, but I feel that it is prime real estate with which something can be done. Maybe make an adults only area with bars, shops, and restaurants around the roller coaster, a river walk around the shore, and a big courtyard on the inside. I think dads would love somewhere to have a drink and watch baseball in the summer and football in the fall. I don't know about an adults only area. There's you, how many dive bars did you pass on the way to Cedar Point? I think that this is prime real estate for another ride. The Millennium, the tail of Millennium that goes out on this island isn't that high. This could be Another ride's camelback could easily go over that, interplay with that, and look quite awesome. I have a video I released a couple weeks ago where I speculated that it would be a great place for an RMC T Rex. Even a Raptor would go fine there, but the first T Rex has got to go somewhere, and Cedar Point is always got to have the newest, hippest, one of a kind thing. So I don't think it's that crazy that we'd put another ride out there on Millennium Island, especially now that Snake River Falls has been pulled out. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Number 8. Move Skyhawk and Wave Swinger to somewhere in the front of the park. They're out of place in Frontier Town. I agree. I mean, but so I agree, except for there's something about riding Skyhawk and getting pitched and looking at Steel Vengeance. Like, I mean, Steel Vengeance might be the best roller coaster in the world, and Skyhawk is, probably the scariest flat ride I could imagine. And having those two sort of have a faint interplay with one another, I think is a benefit to at least to Skyhawk. But yeah, put Skyhawk on your new boardwalk section, and put something more Western themed. Move Cedar Downs even. Put Cedar Downs in Frontier Town. It's horse racing. I don't know. Number 9. I may never understand why there aren't animatronics through the whole train ride, but maybe look into changing that. Oh, animatronics on the train. All right, so yeah, like the train ride does feel a little dated when you pull up to the stationary scenes, but if you look at disaster transport, um, how long do we trust these animatronics to work? Like in a park that is sort of getting chewed up on the internet for maintenance issues. I think Ryan the Ride Mechanic had his video recently where he visited Cedar Point and almost everything he wanted to ride was down. It's a pretty common thing here on these Reddit posts of posting all the rides that are down. In fact, I could probably put one up here now, an example of one of these posts that are just look at all the rides that I'm not able to ride, and I paid X amount of dollars to bring my family here today, like from X place far away from Sandusky, in a park where it might be easy to make the argument that there aren't enough maintenance guys at Cedar Point to start putting in robots. All in all, I think this is a real good wish list. Thanks, Display Sports Guy. Was looking at trying to get the last ride for the general 2025 season on Millie. That said, there was frost on my roof this morning, and we all know this ride, more than others, does not like to operate in the cold. So I wanted to see if anyone has been able to do this successfully in past years. If it goes down, will they just close the ride early for the day? My plan was literally to drive out and get in line at 7:59 on Sunday. You can what? Why don't you come out and hang out with us the rest of the day? I'm gonna be there. I don't. Why? I don't. Okay. Let's see what some of the comments say here. I remember getting to dispatch the last Raptor train home in 2004. What an amazing vibe it was. Platform was electric. Crew tears all over. We knew we had all just experienced the summer of a lifetime, and with the most intense, bittersweet euphoria we had ever felt, it was over. Oh man, that is beautiful. I gotta be. I really hope that something like that happens to me on Sunday. I hope I can be in the right line at the right time. LOL, we've ridden millions snow squalls at night. All that snow flying at you is like the jump to hyperspace in Star Wars. Ooh, ooh. There's not going to be any snow when I go. We're in a La Nina. Um, It's gonna be nice and warm. Well, warm for November, but I guess not warm for these people who are driving up from down south. I'm coming from the north, so Ohio's an upgrade. What do we got here? I've ridden it in snow flurries before. I've also done the closing day of the season a few times. I've seen literal fist fights over getting on the last Millie rides of the year. Guys, Thusies, chill out. This guy, I thought a fight was going to break out for the last ride on Snake River Falls. I was one of the few people marathoning it all day its final day open last year. It was a walk on all day until right before its closing time. Then there was a rush of people coming to try and get on the last boat. Of course, I didn't make the cut, but the way people were acting over trying to get on the last boat was crazy. Like they were ready to get into a fight over last place in line. Oh, people fight for the very last train of a closing ride, not simply because of having a good memory or bragging rights. The park is known for giving out prizes. At Snake River Falls, they gave out themed merchandise. If I recall correctly, at Wicked Twister, they gave out a ticket of a lifetime to either one or all of the riders. I can't remember exactly. Well, that would be cool, but I'm definitely not going to try and bully my way into the last seat of. That's silly. Um, All right, let's read this guy's trip review from, the same days that I went. September 26th. I wonder if you saw me. Anonymous bro. Haven't been to Cedar Point since 2018. There are definitely some new things to our last visit. We stayed at Breakers. It was just a place to sleep. It was clean. Be sure to bring actual blankets if you want to stay warm at night because their comforters are a joke. 3 out of 5. Wow, so much hate for this hotel. They really got to figure this out, huh? Siren's Curse was running when we got in line. Naturally, it broke down. We waited about 20 minutes for it to be fixed. What an intense ride. Your body never gets a second to relax. 5 out of 5. I didn't find it quite that intense, but I thought it was a great ride. Keeper of the Gate was broken down on the first day. We rode it twice on day 2. Such a fun, smooth ride. 4.5 out of 5. I'll agree with. Oh, I got acoustic padding falling off my ceiling. Ugh. I'll agree with that. Such a fun, smooth ride. Probably the smoothest in the park. Although I think that, um, like I personally, I'm 235 pounds. I'm 6.5 feet tall at least. Uh, I have no problem with the B&M vest restraints on Valraven. I think they're comfortable. Even I get airtime just fine. The vest part moves as much as I want it to, and then the lap bar stays where I want it to be as well. Gatekeeper's restraints look the same, but they do not function the same. It'll ratchet down on you, and it's much easier for me or for a man of my size to get stapled on Gatekeeper than it is on Valraven. But they're both fun, smooth rides. Wild Mouse. Wow, this ride's insane. We thought it would just be something kind of fun to try. Looks like a kid ride. They had my wife and I on the right side and 2 random little kids on the left side. We spun like crazy. I was still slightly dizzy as we got off. 6 out of 5. Uh, we got different tastes. That's okay, but I don't think a spinning wild mouse is a 120%. Melania Force. Oh, this guy's got puns. Still a great ride, but I don't remember it being kind of rough. 4.5 out of 5. I wouldn't call it rough, but it's definitely uh, got some positives to it in the beginning. Coming out of that first hill, I wouldn't call it rough. Big wheel. I don't think I've ever been on a Ferris wheel because they look boring, but we tried it at night and during the day. Fun way to see the park from high up. 5 out of 5. Oh, 5 for the Ferris wheel. And 4.5 for Gatekeeper. Okay. Matterhorn. Classic ride that almost seems dangerous the way the cars swing horizontally. Definitely adds to the fun. It's funny. Everybody who rides the Matterhorn tells me that it feels dangerous and that's why they like it. And then when I brought my friends who were afraid of thrill rides, they rode the Matterhorn without me, thinking that, oh, we'll ride this while Joe rides the crazy stuff. I don't know about that. Farm animals. Good to see the animals in clean living conditions. Could use more chickens. 5 out of 5. Yeah, I like the farm animals. Maverick. Solid ride. 4.5 out of 5. And not as good as the Ferris wheel. Mine ride. Oddly popular. Longest wait. Loved the graffiti on the walls in line. Had no idea so many people carried pens and markers in the park. 3 out of 5. Please stop doing that. Somebody's got to clean that. That's just from this year. Just stop. Skyhawk and Max Air, both kind of similar rides, but always fun. 5 out of 5. Now this is Skyhawk's where I'd be putting my 6 out of 5 on a flat ride if I was going to be putting 6 out of 5s on things. Magnum, kind of rough, especially going through tunnels. 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's rough. It's the Magnum. Harden up. Stealing Vengeance. Broke down the first day and didn't try getting on the second day. Oh. Oh. My brother and Thor. Raptor, solid ride, but really starting to be overshadowed by the newer rides. 4 out of 5. Overshadowed by what? What whips you around like Raptor? I mean, Maverick, but on the top of the track and without a lift hill? I don't know. Iron Dragon, fun classic ride. We sat in the front row. 3 out of 5. Doesn't matter what row you sit in an Iron Dragon. Valraven was broken down, but we eventually got on. 4 out of 5. Derby Carousel spun surprisingly fast. 4 out of 5. Food. Nice to see they built some new food places and have added food trucks. The empanadas I got were great. Everything is overpriced. 4 out of 5. Caricature drawn. Artist was friendly. I was extremely irritated when they saw that he wrote his name and marker. Oh, you were extremely irritated when the artist signed his work. I guess you paid him for it, but I don't know. There's a fuzzy line in there somewhere, and I'm not gonna draw it. You guys sound off in the comments. Should the caricature artist have signed his name in Sharpie on the side of the caricature that OP paid for? Overall, it was a decent trip. $290 for one night at the hotel, 2 days worth of park tickets, and parking is a fair price. Oh, if you got a season pass for the 2 tickets, that would have been 180, and then parking would have been toast. The 2 days, oh man, you screwed the pooch on that one. Got to get the season pass. There's no reason not to get the season pass. If you're going 2 days on you went 2 days on the same trip, the season pass would have paid for itself before you left. Got to get the season pass. The rides are great, but so many big rides being down is super annoying. Told you. We'll probably wait a few years to come back. Well, I'll be there in the meantime. But I'm also hoping to make it to some other parks, some parks that are a little further away, so I can get some different rides under my belt. All right, we're going to call it there for today. Thank you for visiting with me, the Vertical Drop Viking, as we check out what people are talking about on the Cedar Point subreddit. If you like this video, let me know by hitting like, and I'll react to more. If you want to see more roller coaster content, consider subscribing to the channel. I try to release at least one video a week, and if this series catches on at all, I can do this in addition to my regular programming. So, like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Vertical Drop Viking out.